Good morning everyone. I'm Matteo Renzi. I'm former Prime Minister of Italy, but I'm here as a proud member of FII board. And we are very happy to host here, but this place is his house, Jared Kushner. And you listen the presentation of Jared. Jared, I prefer to introduce him as a peace builder, because we can discuss about a lot of things. That is a very important event in finance, investment, what unbelievable climate, also feeling a lot of potential deal, a lot of businessmen. But geopolitics plays a crucial role also in economy, of course. And last year, exactly 1 year ago, with Jared, we were here to discuss in the same format. We repeat the format because we are the same, little older, but around the world, a lot of things are changed. And particularly, my question is for Jared, what is the most important thing in your perception, and particularly in this area, has changed in the last 12 months?
Yeah, so first of all, Matteo, thank you for doing this again. It was a lot of fun last year. And this year, obviously, the mood has changed a lot, given the recent terrorist attack in Israel, which is really caused a lot of the progress in the region to just be reassessed for the current moment. What I've seen, not just in the Middle East, but also in the world and in life, is that when the forces of good are winning, the forces of evil will try to stop them. And that's really what I believe the terrorist attack was meant to do. I mean, Israel's economy was rocking in terms of all the different growth. It was a very attractive partner to a lot of people in the region. The progress between Saudi Arabia and Israel was progressing incredibly well. And I do think that poses a big threat to the forces of evil. If you have the Abraham Accords continuing and everyone coming together, that's something that obviously people will want to stop. So the attacks were absolutely vicious, terrible, that occurred, and that's really what was meant to be. So still a lot of possibilities for progress and positivity, but right now, obviously, this is a very important moment to see what's going to happen.
Frankly speaking, when I was Prime Minister, I led the government of center-left, but that don't block me when I recognize the most important thing in the construction of peace in the last 10 years was created by the government in which Jared was involved, because Abraham Accords probably were the pillar of the future of tomorrow. The terrorist attack, our impact in the Abraham Accords for the future. What is the situation now? You are an architect of this very important peace accord. And now, what happened?
So I would say that in light of the attack, the Abraham Accords are more important than ever. And what you're seeing even here, this is the Abraham Accords. People coming together from different geographies, from different religions, from different backgrounds, trying to find a way to build ties, to make their lives better, to make their communities better, to make their countries better. And it's needed now more than ever in order to try and bring this forward. So, like I said, when I got into the Middle East, everyone was saying the divides were the Sunni or the Shia, or different countries. A lot of the Middle East is arbitrary lines that were drawn in the early 1900s by the British. But the real divide that I saw in 2017, and I think that holds even stronger today, is between the leaders who are looking to bring opportunity to their people and the leaders who are looking to use religion or conflict to deflect from their own shortcomings to justify their power. And those leaders want to see more chaos, they want to see more war, more destruction. But what's shifted in the Middle East over the last 5 years is the progress for economic opportunity. You see what's happening here in Saudi Arabia, you see what this conference is about, but all you see from a conference like this is that the Abraham Accords are alive and well, and that they are the proper answer to the radicalization and to the deprivation of societies that has existed in the Middle East for way too long.
and that is very interesting. I think the great division today is between the people who love the life and the people who love the death. And I think we continue to work for a world in which it's possible to give an opportunity for the people who love the life. But when with Richard, we decided the name, with Richard, with Yassir, we decided the name of the events. Last year, we talked about new disorder around the world. This year, we tried to solve the problem about new disorder with the compass and a great message, great symbol, the compass. For the people who stay here, Jared, I think a lot of the people, particularly the people involved in business, in finance, as you, because you also involved in business and finance, the great problem is to don't understand what type of compass we can use to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So what do you think is the only way to arrive to end the conflict? Because the conflict here, the conflict between Israel and Gaza, is a conflict who arrived after 2 years in which crisis between Russia and Ukraine, crisis in the Balkans. Unfortunately, Europe is not very focused. I'm a European, I'm a great fan of United States of Europe. But at the same time, I'm so sad to say Europe is over in this debate. There is not European great initiative, maybe only President Macron is in the region in that hours. But Balkans area, Ukrainian crisis, some tensions in Southeast, problem in Africa Subsaariana. What is the way to end the conflict here? Because the conflict here risks to become one of the worst conflicts around the world. What is your opinion about the possibility to finally find a solution and end of the war?
So I always say when dealing with a problem, you have to start with what you think the likely conclusion is. So clearly this is one of the hardest problem sets that's existed probably in geopolitics, but the end state has to look something like this, and it has to have 2 elements. Number one, Israel has to have the security to not be threatened by its neighbors and to be able to protect its citizens. That is absolutely crucial, is non-negotiable, and I do think a lot of the world agrees that that's something that should exist. The second element is that the Palestinian people have to have the opportunity to live a better life. And I think that if you go through the element, it's not just saying let's create a state, it has to be a state that can function and thrive, because if you don't create that, then the people will, again, find ways to blame other people instead of the leadership that's putting it there. And what I would say is that there's fast ways to get it there, there's long ways to get it there. What I've learned from my time in politics is that anyone who's prognosticating and telling you what's going to happen doesn't know, because at the end of the day, it's going to be based on the decisions of humans, the people in power. I think there's a lot of people in power right now who are faced with some very, very difficult decisions. And those are the forks in the road that we will take throughout the course of history. And we'll look back on it and we'll evaluate those decisions. But if we ever want to achieve a solution, number one, you mentioned the Europeans, even the US, we can't do it the same way we've done it before. And again, one of the things we worked on was we put forward a plan, Peace to Prosperity in Bahrain, where we built a full economic plan for Gaza and the West Bank. And we went through a lot of the elements, like no defined property rights, no judicial system. And a lot of the investors were saying, we want to invest to help the Palestinian people create 1 million jobs, double their GDP, reduce their poverty rate in half. But the thing that was holding them back was that they didn't have an investable framework from a political point of view. So it's not just about drawing the lines, which is important. Israel has to have a clear security apparatus so that what happened before will never happen again, and that these threats will reduce over time. But there has to be an opportunity for the region to thrive and for the people to live a better life. And I wouldn't say it's like 1, 2, 3. I'd say it's 1, 1, 1, because without all of those things, you won't achieve the right outcome.
Levante a cabeça e